So here we are in late 2020. We've gone through COVID, or still going through COVID. Um, Tell us where you compare and contrast where you're at today versus what's your vision. But I'm seeing the name. Everybody in this industry is seeing the name Wintrust a whole lot, but we're seeing it in different forms. Can you kind of clear that up for us? Tell us what you're thinking.
Sure, sure. So as I mentioned, when we launched this business, the bank was calling because they had an existing leasing platform that had been with the bank for a while. It was relatively small, but they wanted to grow it. They liked the business, they wanted to grow it, and that's what we call Wintrust Equipment Finance, and that's run by a gentleman by the name of Dick Dunbar. And their focus is primarily on debt discounting and, kind of that double B space and above and working with other lenders, and it just pure debt discount.
Got it.
So they had experience there. So that's Wintrust Equipment Finance. And then, as you know, Wintrust is a Chicago-based bank, and the footprint of the bank is primarily Chicago, southern Wisconsin, northern Indiana, northern Illinois. And so they had another group up there called Wintrust Capital, which is charged with working with the bank and being the bank product leasing specialist. So they service the footprint. So those were the two entities that were in place when we showed up. We came online and we were going to give the bank, and it made sense because the bank is needed some diversity geographically. They needed some diversity in asset class. And so we came along and we basically said, okay, we will cover that middle market, mid-large ticket space for everywhere but the bank footprint. Okay, so that gave us the rest of the country. And then in doing that, and with our rapid growth, we decided that the best thing to do is to form a holding company under one of our banks. And so we formed Wintrust Asset Finance. And so each one of those three leasing teams, Wintrust Commercial here in Texas, Wintrust Equipment up in Indiana, and Wintrust Capital in Chicago, all are subsidiaries of Wintrust Asset Finance.
Okay.
And so we just felt like that was the best way because, again, we're growing, as an organization, and with our explosive growth down here in Texas, just a better way to manage it and also work coordination between the three groups. So as we progressed, as I said, we've, from Wintrust Commercial standpoint, we've pretty much tracked on that original 5-year plan. But as we got in here and started growing and looking, one of the areas that we were missing and was a small ticket leasing group. And we felt like that would kind of give us a full product coverage, if you will, of the industry. And so we started looking around and began discussions with the group, kind of similar background. They were at place, but the vision of that institution had changed, and they were looking for a new home. And so we were fortunate to connect with David Normandin and his team. And so we launched Wintrust Specialty Finance about 2 years ago, and they're out of Irvine, California. But again, they cover that small ticket vendor type space. So now we feel like we've kind of got the market covered through those 4 platforms that roll up into Wintrust Asset Finance.
Okay. And then the footprint part of the business is the equipment finance group, right?
Well, Wintrust Capital really covers the footprint.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
And so now you have 4 organizations.
Yep.
All rolls up into the holding company.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Was this what you were thinking about when you walked in, when you took your book?
Not exactly. Again, there was some discussion around. Okay, they've already got 2 groups that are doing this, and so is there going to be we're going to be diluting what we do. So there was a lot of conversations around that. But the good thing is we went in, we had those conversations and communicated very clearly about what the expectations for each group were. And it's actually worked out very well. I mean, the 3 groups or 4 groups now, mesh very well together. We refer deals to one another depending upon what the client need is, and are doing some joint deals together. So it's worked out really well. But is that how we really planned it from day one? No, but that's how it evolved.
Well, that's typical, right, for the people in our industry. I mean,
Sure.
you find opportunities, and you can't really predict when they come up. So sometimes you just got to grab them when they're
Right.
there. That's what I've learned anyway.